is dead. But if I get elected president, I will bring it back bigger and better and stronger than ever before, and we will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you very much.
2016, year of the snake. It's time for a change in the White House, y'all. Liberty. Bring it. If you want the real deal, then you gotta get a real leader. Want a real leader, then we need a real man. Build a wall, deal with all them terrorists. America needs a man that can. If you wanna feel safe in your own backyard, one choice. You gotta play your trump card. I say Trump, you say hell high.
How's it going, Tammy? Good to see you. How's it going, y'all? Welcome to the show. Let folks know we are live. Click the share button. Facebook won't let me do anything right now. Literally, all I can do is go live. So we're live now. Let folks know we're live. We're going to talk for the hour. And all kinds of stuff going on. So bring people in. Click the share button. Let folks know.
Socialist Sanders, Ed freaking Flanders, Army Rangers and the Navy SEALs, all staying strong with the art of the deal. If you like your rights, if you love the guns, one choice.
Thank you, Tammy.
When I say Trump, you say hell high.
Hello, Martha. I know, right, Martha, right? Never. It makes me doesn't tell you truth. Those lying sons of bees. Hey, Paul, how's it going? We're just going to pause the song real quick, y'all. We're just going to pause the song real quick. Let's pop in here just real quick because I would just like to address this little troll we got in the room real quick. Okay. Isn't Trump racist? Well, that's an interesting question. You might want to ask Richard Spencer, the most famous and renowned white supremacist here in the United States, short of David Duke. Richard Spencer is going to be voting for Joe Biden. He has endorsed Joe Biden, and he is voting a straight Democrat ticket. So weird. If Trump's the racist, why are white supremacists voting for Joe Biden? I don't know. I'm going to let you think about that while we finish the song, y'all.
To bear arms, protect your family.
I do like that. I do like that.
What about the ability to work a job? Have jobs available to us.
Bye.
You know who we need? His name starts with a D and ends with a Trump.
Come on, Trump, you say, make America great again. Great again. Great again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. You are watching the one and only Trump Talk US live in DC with Suzzanne Monk. I am Suzzanne Monk. We are 8 minutes away from our nation's beautiful capital. We are 15 minutes away from our president's beautiful White House, which, by the way, where Melania has done some wonderful work in the Rose Garden, fixing a whole lot of stuff that was sort of needing some work, doing some work on the rose beds so that they are better exposed to the sun, improving irrigation, improving the drainage, preventing damage to the grass, installing a nice walkway. The left is mad. They say she ruined it. I say she made it awesome. So we love our Melania. Good job, Melania. Good job. It's beautiful, beautiful work. She also has a wonderful display set up in the White House over the 100th anniversary of women's right to vote. So I'm very excited about that. And I look forward to the chance where I get a chance to go in and take a look at that. Fantastic. Yes, handicap access. Thank you, Paul, for remembering that. That's important. The left is all mad. Handicapped people can get into the Rose Garden now. They're mad, but they mad. Okay. So let's talk about what's going on in the news. All right, everybody. The RNC convention is on. The DNC convention was hilariously embarrassing. And the RNC convention is now on. Kim Kasich's going to be talking tonight about 9:30. I'm really excited to hear her campaign. As you know, she had that viral video that her campaign ad that put up. Lillian, how's it going? Peter, good to see you. That viral video out of, I know, Kathy, you're right. Kathy said, it doesn't matter what they do. They just need a reason to hate. That's 100%. So what's happening with the RNC convention? We have some great black people, black conservatives, black candidates speaking tonight. Kim Kasich out of Baltimore. She blew Michelle Obama's video numbers out of the water on Michelle Obama's day of the DNC. That was the same video. Thank you for sharing, Karen. Good to see you. That was the day that Kim Kasich's ad came out where she's walking through Baltimore, showing the problems, calling out the Democrats, talking about how all Black Lives Matter, but not to Democrats. Awesome video. Awesome ad. I love the fact that she's using all Black Lives Matter. As you know, I say all Black Lives Matter, been saying all Black Lives Matter, been telling other people to say all Black Lives Matter because all Black lives do matter. The organization Black Lives Matter, if they don't agree with me that all Black lives matter, you maybe got to stop saying Black Lives Matter. Because if all Black lives don't matter, then don't give us the impression that you think that Black Lives Matter. Either everybody in a group matters, or you can't say the group matters. You can't say that identity matters, right? That's why we say all lives matter, because what we're saying actually is all human beings' lives matter, which is a true statement. But what Black Lives Matter often says is, well, all lives can't matter until Black lives matter. Well, what I say is Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Until all Black lives matter. Black lives don't matter. Until you are as concerned about stopping criminal violence against the Black community, that stopping other heart disease, for example, things that are affecting abortion rates, huge in the Black community. We're killing more Black babies than we're giving birth to. If you're not even interested in any of those lives, if you're not interested in talking about Poppy, who lost his life, the little 17-year-old kid who's lost his life just last week in the shooting here in Washington, D.C., if you're not concerned about his life because he was shot by another Black kid, screw you. Black lives don't matter to you then. So don't lie and say Black lives matter to you, because they don't. If Poppy's life doesn't matter to you because you have an agenda to push about white cops and Black people, then Black lives don't matter to you. They're a tool to you, and you literally should admit to yourself that you're a racist. Just like we should admit what's happening now with the situation in Wisconsin, already ready to blow a riot up, burning down businesses. Kenosha auto dealership with their Black Lives Matter sign in the window. Pandering doesn't work, folks. I got to tell you, pandering does not work. Okay? Doesn't work. They're still going to come burn your stuff. They're still going to come attack your stuff, even here in Anacostia. All Black neighborhood. We're a poor working class Black neighborhood where I live. Okay? We had businesses here during the riots in D.C. just attacked, vandalized. Black businesses, black-owned weed store, crying out loud. Black-owned weed store, huge Black Lives Matter mural on the thing. Why? She's got it now. She should have the mural all on the wood that she had to put over the windows. The Black Lives Matter protesters busted out for her. So we see again yet another situation the Democrats are going to take advantage of and attempt to try to play the race card based on police, quote, brutality. If you watch the evidence in this case, this is a typical case. This is a typical case of comply, don't die. The officers were called to the scene on this individual because he was wielding a knife around, threatening people with a knife. He did not comply with dropping the knife. He was tased. It didn't stop him. Okay, did you know that? Before you guys all got mad that a white cop shot a black guy in the back. Did you know he tased him and it didn't stop him? That the man continued to keep going, saying, I have a weapon. I have a gun in my car. I'm going to get it. He told officers he's got a gun. He's going to get the gun. So, officer, in that moment, as the gentleman was reaching into his car, getting ready to turn and use the firearm, he himself, the suspect had indicated, is in the firearm, is in the vehicle. The officer did what was absolutely necessary and required and indicated by his job. He shot the suspect, as he should. As he should. In that situation, the officer is required to prevent harm to the public and harm to himself. That is his job. That is his job. So, we're going to see yet another set of riots in Wisconsin. Folks tearing stuff down, burning stuff down. Why? Because of a false narrative. Because of this ridiculously false narrative that the left needs to impose. The only thing they have is these few instances, statistically very rare, actually, where a white officer engages a black suspect in a situation that ends in the death of the suspect. It's actually quite rare. You know what happens a lot more often? Well, one, officers engaging with black suspects and not shooting them. That happens a lot. Two, officers engaging with black citizens who are not suspects, traffic stops, as beat cops in their local neighborhood, and nothing bad happens. That happens all the time. Black cops actually can sometimes shoot white people. So that actually also happens. Black cops can shoot black people. Black not cops can shoot black people and or white people. You know, actually, that's what happens the most. Black on black murder is what happens the most. That is the most likely way for a black man to end up shot and killed in this country. It's not by a white cop. It's not by a white supremacist. All right. It's by another black man. That's what's sad. So if my little friend over here who likes to call himself Kill Whitey thinks Black Lives Matter, I say I don't think he does. I don't think he does think Black Lives Matter. I think he's a racist. We're going to block him because he's a racist. I think he's a racist and wants to use anger and hatred and this idea that Black lives don't matter to impose his racist ideology of anti-white hatred. He hates white people. That's why he wants to go around saying Black Lives Matter, as if I disagree that Black Lives Matter. Where we disagree, he and I, in that I believe all Black lives matter, not just the ones that fit his Marxist organization's agenda. So we're going to see some more violence, you guys. I suspect we're going to see this several times this season. We're going to see this again and again, maybe once every month. Now, does that make people freaked out a little bit? Yeah, I understand why you guys are freaked out a little bit. That we're going to see this much rioting, looting, racial division going on constantly. This ongoing and constant opportunity to pit white people against black people. That's what the Democrats are about. They're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep using it because they think it is effective. Guess what? I'm going to tell you something right now. It's not. It is not effective at all. It is not effective at all. I have been working here with a good friend of mine who is running for neighborhood commissioner in the 8th Ward here in my neighborhood, talking to a lot of voters, a lot of constituents in the 8th Ward in DC. How's it going, Bill? In the working class Black neighborhood. Okay? A lot of them. Guess what? None of them want to defund the police. None of my neighbors want to defund the police. None of the voters that we're talking to want to defund the police. They want more police in this neighborhood. They want effective policing that's actually reducing the crime. Actually reducing the crime. They want effective policing that is actually preventing these kids from getting involved in shootouts. That we're getting these kids off the street before somebody gets killed. And they want adequate resources to deal with those individuals. Listen, these folks, they want more police. They don't want the sentences to be inappropriately harsh, particularly for nonviolent drug offenders. I agree with my neighbors immensely. We should not be putting nonviolent drug offenders in jail for significant periods of time, filling up our jails for someone who basically needs help. Okay? They need help. But what we should be doing is making sure that when we do have violent offenders, we're keeping them in jail. We're keeping them behind bars. We're keeping them off the streets, and thus issuing a deterrence to individuals who might choose that kind of violent behavior in the future. So, what we need, and what all of my neighbors say, is more community policing. And I'm going to pull this up, Monarch, because a lot of people say that police need more training because the times have changed. I'm going to tell you something. Here's where the times changed. They changed during Obama. They changed during this leftist push we had during the Obama administration. Yeah, Bill, Kim's great. I was mentioning that earlier. The changes that occurred here in DC, for example, we don't have a gang task force. We've disbanded the vice department, folks who deal with drug dealers, prostitution, etc. We've separated that out. We added, however, an Asian liaison, an LGBT liaison. By the way, that person holds a barbecue. They have a job at the police department, but what they do is they put together a barbecue for the gay people and the cops, I guess. I don't know. But we don't have a gang task force. I don't have anybody keeping up with what's going on with Poppy and his friends that are now have a beef with who shot him and are going to go and try to shoot back. We don't have a force for that in DC. Why? Did we used to have those things? Yeah. We did used to have those things. What happened? You idiots sent Barack Obama to DC. That's what happened. That's what happened. And what happens to Washington, DC is whatever president comes, that president influences the district. And so you get more of that political power and more of that political ideology. And that's where we got the stupid streetcar that costs $500 million for only 2.5 miles of streetcar. That's where we've gotten, we're not defunding the police. We're cuckolding them. We're kneecapping them. We're taking the funds that they could use to actually prevent crime, and we're putting them in some crappy BS political correct liaison branches. We're wasting. We're not defunding. We're misfunding. We're misfunding the police in the city of Washington, D.C. Why? Because that was the agenda that Obama brought in. We got to be all lefty, man. We got to let the homeless people be on the streets, man. We got to let people poop on the road, man. The ongoing decay of any rational enforcement of law and order, which has led to the decimation of cities. We got little, what I'm calling Bowser bills. We got little tent cities popping up under our overpasses here in the city, in the capital, in the nation's capital, because of the policies of Mayor Muriel Bowser. And continue to be that way. My neighbors don't want those policies enacted. They don't want cops that are bad, but they don't want cops that are not present. In fact, what they want is, they say more training because times have changed. Times need to go back. We need to go back to community policing, to beat cops who walk the neighborhood. So Officer Jameson, who walks down the street every day at 5:30. Yes, Bowser Rails. Thank you, Isaac. We want that. That's what my neighbors want. That's what I want. That's what will be most effective. What has shown as most effective as a deterrent for crime and for building that community police relationship that is necessary to having a healthy community where crime is reported and people trust the police to come and protect them. How do you build that? You put cops walking the beat so that we get to have those relationships. You put cops back in the schools with meet officer friendly programs. Do you know we shut those down here? Do you know that we don't even want to fund officers being used as security in the schools? Our city council voted to remove district police, Metropolitan Police Department, from providing security in the district schools because they hate the cops. But all the folks over here in my neighborhood, how's it going, Jane Ruby? Oh, I'm great. I'm glad she's here. I'm going to mention this in a second. All the folks in my neighborhood, we don't want that. And again, what's amazing is what we're hearing from voters in my very deep, very Democrat, very Black community. They don't believe in mail-in voting. They don't trust the mail-in voting. They don't want to defund the police. They don't believe in defunding the police. So we're out here telling folks about, let's make some different choices then. And this is what we're doing. I miss you too, Jane. Everybody say hello to Dr. Jane Ruby. She is, and I'm jealous as all get out. She's down in Palm Beach with Laura Loomer, helping Laura Loomer out with her campaign. To great success, by the way. Laura took her primary with 42% of the vote. I'm so proud of her. She's doing fantastic work now. It's going to be a little bit of a battle because she's fighting Louis Frankel, who they say is a pretty safe candidate down there, but they don't know my Laura and they don't know my Jane. They don't know my Laura or my Jane. And we sent Jane down there. We were like, you know what? We need some experts. We need some firepower. We need some firepower down there. So as Jane says, she'll be back. She'll be back to DC. But we sent her down there. We basically said, Jane, go to Florida and bring us back a congresswoman named Laura Loomer. And that's what she's going to do. That's what's going to happen. Loving the articles talking about the new GOP squad. They want to call our girls. And, it's funny. It's very interesting and funny because the GOP squad is like, well, let's see. There's Kim Klacik, who I know, and I'm good friends with her campaign manager and have done cleanups with her. So I know Kim. That's one of the squad. There's Laura Loomer, who I'm, friends with Laura Loomer, good friends with her bestie, Jane Ruby. She's part of the squad. And there's, of course, my girl, my home girl, my good friend, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And another young woman in the 13th district down in Florida. I believe her name was, it's Anna. I'm forgetting the rest of her name. She was also considered part of the GOP House Squad. Well, 3 of the 4 House Squad are like my personal friends. You Democrats in Congress better be worried. Suzzanne Monk's is sending her friends to Congress. And let me tell you about Suzzanne Monk's friends. They are an angry group of patriots that are tired of business as usual, and they are taking names. We are busting heads and taking names, and we are coming to make America great again. We are coming to put America first again. We are coming to drain the swamp. Oh, there you go. Anna Paulina Luna. Thank you. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Jane. Let her know I love her, and she's my new friend, even though I don't know her yet. I might have her on Facebook on my other account. Not sure. But yeah, we're sending patriots. Excited. So, you guys, what we got to do is we got to get out and fight. Now, I'm excited to hear Kim Klasik's speech tonight at 9:30 for the RNC because she's going to be talking a lot about, there's Chris. Welcome, everybody. The monk and Chris McDonald representing Trump Talk US in the room. Give him some love. He's feeling a little under the weather tonight. So, I'm interested to see what Kim has to say because she's going to basically do a call out to all of the Republicans, which I have been saying this as well. And we need to start doing this. This is an important reality. She's going to be basically giving a call out to all the Republicans saying you have to stop abandoning these Democrat-led cities. You have to stop abandoning these cities because you think you can't win. Well, because if you don't show up, here's what I can guarantee you. If you don't run, you can't win. If you don't participate in the process, if you don't get into the, how's it going, Karen? Thank you. That's awesome. If you don't get in and put it on the line. Talk about your values, talk about your principles, talk about the policies you want to enact, and give people the chance to vote against you. You didn't lose, you just didn't play. You've abdicated. And that's what the Republican Party has done in many of these urban cities: Chicago, Detroit, Atlanta, DC, New York. We could go all Boston, Philadelphia. We could just go on. We could just go on and on and on like that. Where it's a beautiful city. Houston, it's a beautiful city. But the Republicans have decided they don't want to fight with the Democrats in the big cities. They don't want to run the tight races. They want to run the easy races. Well, guess what? That's left the urban environment decimated. It's led to years of this false idea that Republicans cannot pull in black voters, which is wrong and incorrect. It has led to years of policies and policy decay overall. Because, see, once you have these urban environments where the norm is socialism, where the norm is giant government, where the norm is teachers' unions controlling the schools, not parents, that norm adjusts for the rest of America. You know, when there's this radical thing and this normal thing, we kind of meet in the middle. Well, guess what? That makes things less normal. That normalizes policies like indoctrination in our schools. That normalizes policies like hate speech legislation. That normalizes policies like gun control legislation. It normalizes those things. By contrast, by allowing these urban environments to go not just Democrat, but extremely leftist Democrat, by contrast, you've created a Democrat Party that is literally communist. And the Republicans have got to be accountable to some of that. Because had they been in the cities fighting those elections, had they been running opposition in these races, look, I think it's Denver. I don't know. I forget the city it is. There's a congressional, I had to go on Oneida. There's a congressional candidate, won his primary as a Democrat. He actually has a record of sexually harassing teenage girls, bullying online. He's like 19 right now. He's like a kid. He's a child. At 16, he had charges for sexual harassment of other girls online. Revenge porn posting, which would, by the way, be posting of child videos. If you're 16 and you're posting pictures of your 16-year-old girlfriend, you're posting child porn. So it's not just he was mean. Kansas City, thank you, Isaac. He was just a mean kid. No, no. He used exploiting teenage pornography. He made himself, okay? He used that to get back at a girlfriend. And this is who the Democrats. Now, guess what? He's going to be a congressman. Why are you saying that? Suzzanne, he's only won his primary. Yeah, because the Republicans didn't run anybody against him. Right. Because that's what happened. Because the Republicans did not run anybody against him. And this is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to we are abandoning these inner cities to the Democrat state representative. Thank you, Isaac. We are abandoning these inner cities to Democrat madness. And so once you have no accountability, once you're just Democrats voting in Democrats and they're just infighting on the other side, we get lefter and more left and more left and more left and more left and more left. And now here we are. We literally have the Democrat Party standing on the floor of their convention, refusing to speak out against, reject, oppose, disavow, one of their favorite words, disavow, they love that word, violence, political violence. So it's absolutely outrageous. We have them taking out the Pledge of Allegiance. taking under God out of the Pledge of Allegiance. We're just in the process of hunting down the trolls and getting rid of them. So we do that kind of at the same time. Their platform is anger and hatred and anti-Trump. Nothing they've said is anything motivational to, we're going to do something great, we're going to do something better. None of it. It's just, let's hate the president, let's hate the president, let's hate the president. And so, I love when these little trolls, you can't find them, you got to hunt them down. Absolutely. There never be a seat on challenge. Chris, 100%. There should never be a seat on challenge. Brittany, I'm so happy about this. Brittany said they just got back protesting for virtual schools. Good to see your face. Thank you. I've not been on Facebook because they won't let me do anything but go live. So, let's see. Jenna, I know this is what I'm saying. We have a Republican who, I hope we have a Republican to replace Kim Flock. Just saw an interview on TV, forgot his name, but I'm hoping that people in Illinois will say realize, as am I. So, yeah, actually, I did. See, this is the cute thing. The trolls all chime in now. Yes, I did watch the convention. Yes, I did watch the speeches. You guys are really proud of Joe Biden that he read the speech? Were you surprised of him that he read the speech? That almost was an exact replica of his previous presidential speech? You guys, you literally picked the guy who got kicked out of his last presidential, one of the attempts he made at running for president because of plagiarism. And now you literally have him doing it again. This is what I find so absolutely ridiculous and hilarious about you people, is that you just refuse. You just refuse to actually hold your own side accountable for anything. And you're mad at us because we're busy holding the Republicans accountable by electing Trump. And that's what I find is most ridiculous. You want to be worried about us because we are holding the Republicans accountable, the Bush dynasty that you all hated. You hated it. You hated it. And yet, what happened? You elected Obama, who kept the same policies in play, including some of the exact same warmongers that you had operating in the Bush administration. They came right with Obama. Obama kept him right in power. Bada bing, bada boom. You guys are idiots. I've never seen such a group of dumb Democrats in my life as this year's Democrats. I got to be honest. You guys are just some of the dumbest Democrats that have ever existed on earth. And I'm telling you, sweethearts, prepare yourself. Okay? Stop burning down all the cities just because a cop got shot, because you're going to need some stuff to burn down when you're really angry that Trump kicks your ass again and we take back the House. Because that's what's going to happen. You'll see. All right, I want to talk a little bit about Kellyanne Conway and Steve Bannon. As you know, Steve Bannon has been arrested. They are trying him for fraud amongst the other individuals who, Brian Kolfage and the other We Build the Wall people, the folks who obviously put together the GoFundMe. They were going to raise money. They built a private section of the wall. So there is some investigations that some of that money ended up being filtered to Brian Kolfage, just by the fact that he said he wasn't going to take any fee. Now, here's what I find so interesting. And ridiculous about this case. There are grifters going on all sides, particularly on the left, on the right, in the Republican Party, in the Democrat Party. There's been people who operate this way. It's a pretty common set of behavior, but you only see them going after the Steve Bannons of the world, right? You don't see it actually happening when we see Black Lives Matter, for example, all of their donations going through to an organization called Act Blue without reporting any political donations, exceeding all of the donation cap orders, etc. So this is an interesting case. I'm not personally going to get too riled up about the case. I'm going to just kind of see what happens with it and follow it from there. But I am going to be a little concerned with these folks who are upset with Kellyanne Conway because she's been forced to leave. Obviously, she has some family situation she wants to address. Her teenage daughter has become completely out of control and unhinged. It is my hope that she goes ahead to actually help her child get her mental health back. Because this child is literally, she's lost her mind. She's lost her mind, and she genuinely needs a mother who's going to stay home, get her off the stupid social media. Get her off the social media and go from there. You know, she's got to get in and actually deal with her kid. Now, are there other reasons she's leaving? I don't know. But I think she's done a wonderful job. I think she will return at a time where it's appropriate. And we'll see her then. She's done a great job. And I'm actually very honored to meet her. You know, we don't get a chance to talk about President Nutcracker often enough, so I will mention it. Kellyanne Conway does own her own, very own President Nutcracker. A very low number that was given to her personally by me as a gift. And I'm very proud to have her have one of my babies, one of my beautiful babies. So, absolutely fantastic. So we'll see what happens. So I also wanted to mention, I wanted to bring those things up because I don't think, we need to discuss them too much because I think a lot of that's distractionary tactics. I do want to talk a little bit about what was going on in Portland over the weekend. Yeah, Paul, I totally agree. An arse whooping would be in order. I agree. How's it going, Jeffrey? How's it going, Oneida? Good to see you. Loretta, good to see you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what happened in Portland over the weekend. As some folks have seen online, there was a pretty big battle. There's a pretty big battle in Portland between Patriots and Antifa. There was a Patriot rally. Basically, they're fed up. Enough is enough. We're tired of the riots in Portland. We're tired of the riots. We're tired of the violence. We're tired of the attacks. We're tired of all of this stuff. And we're going to stand up and we're going to push back. Well, it ended up being in a huge battle. The police stood down on both sides, but there were more patriots. There were more patriots than there were I'm trying to do this. There were more patriots than there were Antifa. So what ended up happening? Well, a lot of violence, unfortunately. A lot of violence, a lot of people getting in attacks, a lot of people getting beat up, pepper spray, etc., etc., etc. A lot of that. Unfortunately, that's what continues to happen when you see the police stand down. Now, I support my Proud Boys. I've always supported the Proud Boys. I am the unofficial den mother of the Proud Boys, and I certainly support these young men. I concur that there are times when we need to say enough is enough, and we're going to show up. And we're going to hold ground. Now, I'm not a big fan of hunting for a fight, obviously, but it is important to start to show protesters, either through law enforcement or through citizenry, that we are not going to tolerate the destruction, the burning, the looting of our communities. And if the police are not going to protect our communities, if the police are not going to protect our businesses, if the police are not going to prevent looting, rioting, burning, arson, violence, etc., then the citizens will arm and they will defend their city. And this is what is happening. This is what is happening. What we're seeing right now. What we're seeing is the actual result of exactly what we've seen over time. No, Jeffrey, we shouldn't be killing don't kill anybody. Look, I'm glad when people ask questions like this because it gives me an opportunity to go on record. I do not practice violence. I do not believe in violence. I practice intentional non-violence. I go into them thick. I've been in the middle of 2,000 radical communist leftist Antifa in my face wanting to assault me. Unarmed, I had a helmet. I had a helmet and I had my goggles. And you know what? My helmet, my goggles were on my stupid helmet. I didn't even put them on my eyeballs. That's how I was just in the moment. Forgot to put them over my eyeballs. I almost got glitter in my eye. It was no big deal. Was attacked, spray painted, hit, kicked, assaults, slapping, punches, hair pulling, spray paint. Yeah. So the reality of the situation is they're violent. Now, I don't act in violence. I don't behave in violence. I don't believe we should be responding in violence unless we are being physically attacked. But you know what? That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Oh, thank you, Paul. Yes, I do have a helmet. Paul says, I saw that. That's why I'm a fan. Yes, because I do have a helmet. Yes, I have a beautiful bike helmet with I got Trump Pence on the helmet. It keeps me safe. It keeps me safe. So, what we saw in Portland between the Proud Boys and between the left is the result of police not defending the peace. And that's what I've been talking about several times. Okay. We've talked about this repeatedly. We've talked about this over and over. The police have got to do their job. Okay. The police have got to be allowed to do their job. Not only allowed, but encouraged and demanded. We should be demanding our police are making arrests and ending these riots. That we stand there and go, oh, the police don't know what to do. We can't send in the National Guard. Oh, it's peaceful protesters when buildings are on fire in the background of the journalist saying those lies. We need to be holding our police accountable. Now, here's the problem. A lot of the police want to stop it. They want to be given the opportunity to stop it, but they're literally being told they can't use any kind of riot gear. They can't use tear gas. They can't use pepper spray. They can't use rubber bullets. They can't use sound to blast out and make them crazy so they want to leave. We can't play. That's what I said. Play some really obnoxious old people music. They'll leave. I'm telling you. You know, some Merle Haggard, enough Merle Haggard, and these little modern lefties will just run. They can't handle this old music. There's a lot of things we can do. We're not giving them the opportunity to do them. We're not even giving them the opportunity to go in and make arrests. We're literally telling them don't make arrests. So now the mayors and the governors who are giving those stand down orders are accountable. To the fact that people are being harmed. Businesses are being destroyed. Livelihoods are being ruined. People are being killed. Yeah, polka music, Texas swing. So, in situations like we see in Portland, like we see in Berkeley, like we see in some of these in Chicago, etc., if patriots are capable and willing to stand up in defense of their nation, then we have to do that, in part because what that does is facilitate, if the cops start to realize they have to do their job, it pushes pressure on the community. The community doesn't want people fighting in the streets with bear spray. Okay. They don't want all out patriot Antifa war. They don't want that. So, but now they can pressure. They put pressure. We need to stop this. We need to be putting that pressure as well. We have got to stop tolerating and standing down. And, you know, if you are in a Texas city and they have riots going on in Austin, you need to be calling the governor and telling him, stop it, make it stop, send in the National Guard. Are you a resident of Houston? Well, no, I'm not. I'm a resident of Texas. So you're my governor, and I'm going to change my vote if I don't think you can control our urban environment. So that's what went down in Portland. That's what went down in Portland. Now, I would like to not have any additional situations like this. I would like to not have to have my patriots go and stand in conflict, violent conflict with the radical left, because I can't get law enforcement to actually take this insurgency. But I'm real proud of my president, because he's actually the one now talking about how this is a communist insurgency, that these are terrorists on our streets that are trying to tear down America, and we're going to send in the National Guard. And you know what? It may take till November till the president has what did Obama say? The flexibility after the election. He'll have more flexibility after the election. So we're going to see how you leftists continue to try to destroy your own urban environments, your own cities, your own communities, people who support your cause. Black people. You've burned and destroyed Black people's businesses. You've killed Black people. Black Lives Matter people have killed Black people because they supported Trump. So their Black lives didn't matter because he didn't like the way they vote. This is what we're up against. This is what we're up against, and we're going to continue to be up against. Now, let's talk about a few good things coming up, okay? Obviously, do get a chance to, if you listen to the president's speech today, it was on fire. Please get a chance to review the president's speech today. He's blasting. He's full campaign mode. Super excited about that. And I think we're going to see a great acceptance speech later in the week, I believe Thursday. There's a lot of great speakers. Even Fox is cutting them off. Even Fox is cutting off these speeches at the RNC. Though they played a lot of the Democrat speeches. It's really weird. I feel like Fox is totally turncoat and then they still go, Trump and Fox. Fox is totally supporting Trump. Like, have you watched Fox lately? Who is saying this? Like, media, come on. No. So do get a chance to look at that. There are a lot of great rallies going on around the country. There are a lot of great activities going on around the country. We're going to see stuff happening throughout the nation. Okay, voter registration. There's a new get 10 voters. I've been telling everybody, bring 5 people to the polls. Well, they've upped the game. They said bring 10 people to the polls. So we've got all hands on deck in the MAGA movement in getting this president reelected. All hands on deck. Now, what I need for folks to do, I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes talking about some just psychological stuff, okay? Because it's important. Yeah, this is true. I'm going to put this up real quick. And this is a point we can make. Ironic how businesses are putting Black Lives Matter on their marquees or making signs, yet they are being burned and vandalized. Yes. And point number 1, I want to make psychology, okay? Understand something. These riots, these race riots, are entirely astroturfed. I need folks to understand that, because we keep fighting and arguing the same debate over and over. And then we get looped into the all lives matter, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. And then we're all having the same stupid argument over and over and over again. We're not moving in the bar by having that argument. This is why I say all Black Lives Matter, because it defeats their argument. It doesn't continue the argument. It's not, yes, you are. No, you're not. Yes, you are. No, you're not. It's not that. It's actually, yes, you are. No, actually, here's my proof that you are. So this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Okay. When we see this racial violence, yes, Paul, it's an utter distraction. It is a distraction and a trap. It's a trap. It's a little mouse trap. Okay. That crazy BLM guy saying F all the white people, that's cheese. Okay. And then Zuckerberg and the other social media giants put the cheese, the hateful, angry, racist black person who's saying hateful things about white people. They put the cheese on the trap. Okay? You know what it says on the trap? It says all lives matter on the trap. And you're like, ooh, all lives matter. Cheese! I gotta tell that guy all lives matter. Because he thinks only black lives matter. He's a racist. No, you don't. You can just leave the racist be. You can block the racist. You can snooze the racist. There's a lot of things you can do. You do not need to engage every person. The social media is setting you off for that. And then you say the wrong thing, then they block you. Then you say the wrong thing and they screenshot it. Then you say the wrong thing and you're angry at each other. And now you're saying angry white stuff and they're saying angry black stuff. And it plays right into their narrative. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. Stop being outraged that Black Lives Matter. People say really dumb stuff like, white people, you got to give up your houses. Stop being distracted by that. Every time you're mad, every time you see an article, here's what you do. You're scrolling. You're like on your phone. Okay, you're like, boom, boom, boom. You're scrolling. What? A black TV star said white people all deserve to die. Instead of doing that, you're going to be like, scroll, black TV star said white people should die. Yawn. That's what I need you guys to start doing. And when you're like, oh, that kind of ticked me off, you go, tick me off. Then you get your note card, okay? And every time you get ticked off by the media saying something dumb, every time you get ticked off by the leftists being super communist, by the agenda that they're pushing in our schools with indoctrination of kids, every time you get ticked off, okay, I want you to do this. I said get 5 votes, okay? Well, let me see if we can see it. Yeah, I said get 5 votes, okay? 5. Right, 5. Try to do that where you can see it. There we go. 5, all right? The new number is 10, right? We're going to get 10 votes. Everybody's going to pledge to bring 10 voters to the polls. Every time you get really mad, every time you think the country is going to hell, every time you think, geez Louise, what has the left done to us? Add another vote. Go get another vote. Don't argue about it on Facebook. Don't call people names. Don't go around screaming about Black Lives Matter. Go get a vote and vote those people out of office that continue to support this racist Marxist ideology. You do better. Instead of talking to the angry BLM guy, okay? Talk to the poor, sad white kid who's like, oh, I just don't want to piss anybody off of BLM. Be like, you know what? That kid, talk to him. So you know what? It's Marxist. Go read their page. You don't have to worry about pissing them off. They're Marxists. Oh, wow. Talk to the black kid who's like, well, I think Black Lives Matter, but I don't necessarily agree with everything the organization is doing. Talk to him. That's your guy. The outrage porn, be done with it. Avoid it. Move on. Use it to motivate yourself to get the votes. They're going to outrage us every single month. There's going to be a different riot every single month. They're going to figure out some way to make sure that some white cop shoots some black kid every single month until the election. Accept it. Deal with it. Move on. Get votes. Get votes. Okay? Just like there's going to be distractions like Kellyanne Conway leaving, like Steve Bannon's case. Okay? There's going to be this kind of stuff. There's going to be distractions. Tammy, I'm glad you bring it up. They're going to go after Anons. They're going to shut down accounts. They're going to try to infiltrate QAnon rallies with fake QAnon people who say dumb stuff. FYI, fake Qs, fake Anons. No Anon on earth wants to abolish ICE. So if you're willing to stand next to idiots who have abolish ICE signs and they're your friends, we know you're fake. Don't be so stupid. Don't be so stupid. All right. That being the case. Okay. Keep going. Keep sharing the hashtags. Obviously, keep sharing the information. But we're not getting into fights. We're not getting into all that. We're not focusing on these little trolls. We are focusing on the election. Because I'm going to tell you right now, whether you believe 100% of what Q says, or 90%, or 10%, or 2%, or negative 2%. Okay? Whether you believe in Pizzagate is really happening and real, like many of us do, whether you think we are actually going to be the generation that brings to light the great hidden secret of elite pedophile rings, which is happening, and we are bringing to light, and we are that generation. Yes. If you want to do that, you know what? If you want to do all those things, you know what we're going to need? Trump in office for another 4 years. How's it going, Nick? We aren't saving one dang child, okay? If we can't even get Trump back in office, if we can't take the Congress, if we can't get the House back and keep the Senate. So, you want to hashtag save the children? You want to hashtag save our children? You want to hashtag end pedos? Hashtag elect Trump. Get out the vote. We need to focus on that. All of your outrage needs to have a place to be put called get out the vote for Trump. Okay? At the end of the day, you know how like sometimes you have your change jar and you've had your days spending, you're like, oh, got all this change. I'm putting the change jar. It builds up over time. That's your outrage. You're going to be like, oh, I got all this outrage change today. I was mad at this. I was mad at this. I was mad at this. You know what? I'm going to put all that energy, boom, into getting out the vote. Because that's what's going to be important. We're making real progress. Real things are happening. Real change is occurring. You're going to see it in Kim Klasik's speech in just a little while here. You can see it in the fact that Laura Loomer was able to win her primary. She can't be on Twitter. She can't be on Facebook. She can't ride in an Uber. She can't get DoorDash. Okay? She can't go to a bank because they hate this woman so much because she spoke out against their hatred. And she was attacked because she continued to say truths, continued to speak about the anti-Semitic rhetoric of Ilhan Omar and the push for the BDS movement within our government, the anti-Jewish, the racist sentiment coming out of our own government. On the left, she called them out. They got mad. They got all of their friends and every social media giant to shut her life down. And guess what? That bitch still won her primary. Yeah. That girl, the one you shut down, the one you tried to silence, the one you demonized. That girl. That girl won her primary and is going to give Lois Frankel the biggest fight she's ever seen. So, this is what I'm talking about. You guys, we're making progress. It's happening. Success is happening. The take back is happening. As I said in 2016, I said this in 2016. I said this throughout the election. I said this when Trump was elected. I've been saying it in 2018. I've been saying it the whole time. Okay? We are making this happen, but it's going to take time. Alex, I'm going to put this up. The people are waking up. Yes. The people are waking up. A few more each day. A few more each day. So, we're making the progress. But as I said from the beginning, it's going to take time. It's going to take 2 full terms, and it's going to take a presidency even beyond that. We need to not only reelect President Donald J. Trump, we need to make sure that who is elected in 2024 can continue this agenda, can continue to be a candidate, a president, a leader with integrity, with values. Okay? And you know who I like? I like your girl, Loretta. I like your girl, Christine Elm. There is some buzz going around. There is some buzz going around about Christine Elm and possibly 2024. So, Gnome 2024, definitely on the top. Nick, keep up the good work, signing petitions in Michigan to stop Whitmer. Keep doing the good work. We got a lot of work to do. We're going to keep working together over the next several months to make sure we get this president elected. And as you and I both know, we're going to be working together to stop the steal team so that we are ready to defend our vote the day after election. And yes, we will get John James. And yes, Alex, we will get peace. I believe it in our lifetime under this president. So help me reelect him, you guys. That is our show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back on Wednesday here on Trump Talk US. As you know, we do an evening show, usually 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock on Wednesday. We'll be back. We do a Friday prayer meeting. I've been starting that regularly now. We're going to be doing that. And on Tuesday and Thursday, I am on the exceptionalconservativeshow.com, the Exceptional Conservative Network, where I do my show, Life, Liberty, and Talk. On Wednesday, I'm going to be doing an interview with TRT World about masks, you guys, about masks and why we need to end these mask mandates. I'm going to be sharing a lot of great scientific information, and we're going to be talking with a professional doctor, a medical doctor, who believes we should be wearing masks. So it's going to be really fun when I make him look stupid with all of the facts and information that you know and I know indicate that we should not be wearing masks as the general public. So once I get that link, I'll share that with you as well. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. It is Christmas shopping time. So if you haven't bought a President Nutcracker, if you don't have one in your home, go to presidentnutcracker.com, www.presidentnutcracker.com. Order yours today. Each one is hand detailed by me, hand haircuts, face painting, all of this, handwritten speeches. All these details are done each and every Nutcracker. That's why they're each numbered. There's a limited edition. There are only 1,000 in the world. So order yours today. If you have one, order one for a friend because Christmas is coming. And every dollar that you purchase, every dollar from your purchase of President Nutcracker goes to supporting the work I do here, both on this show here in Washington, D.C. with my organization, Reopen America. It basically helps it's my side job, you guys. So help my side job out. I'll keep doing Patriot stuff and we'll make this country great again. How about that? Here's the link, you guys. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, www.presidentnutcracker.com. So go check out some Nutcrackers. We'll be back again tomorrow on the Exceptional Conservative Show Network, on the TECN Network. We'll be back here on Trump Talk US on Wednesday. Thank you, Chris, for all the good job with the links tonight. All of you Patriots for tuning in. You know, I love you very much. Keep up the good work. Until next time, this is your girl, Suzzanne Monk. Jumping out.